Across languages, across borders, across your species, this phrase exists. I'm fine. Statistically, it's one of the most commonly used lies in human interaction, not because humans are malicious liars, but because you've coded this response as a social shield. It's the auto-replay when your internal weather forecast says thunderstorm, but you don't want anyone to bring an umbrella. You say it to avoid questions, to protect others from your chaos, or to protect yourself from theirs. Sociologically, this phrase became a pressure valve in workplaces, families, friendships, and emotional transparency is often seen as vulnerability, and vulnerability is seen as weakness. But here's the paradox. The more you hide what's wrong, the more alone you feel. I'm fine becomes the isolation anthem, a performance of calm, while your mind plays a symphony of silent screaming. It is not a declaration, it's a camouflage. Right? It's like putting a nothing to see here sign in front of a burning building. Smoke, screaming, emotional debris. All good. Cheryl just said she's fine. You Earthlings deserve an Oscar how convincingly you pretend not to be falling apart. Bravo. Now let's all emotionally implode in synchronized silence. Wellness. Historically, emotional suppression is tied to survival. Showing distress could make you appear weak, less likely to lead, hunt, or mate. Fast forward to industrial society, emotions became a workplace liability. The less you express, the more professional you appear. You weren't rewarded for being human. You were rewarded for being a polite productivity unit. It continued in gender norms too. Men were told to man up. Women were told to stay pleasant. Entire generations learned to compress their emotions into a single vague sentence. I'm fine. And now it's a reflex. Even when you want to scream, even when someone asks with care, you still say it. Because the phrase isn't for them, it's for you. It's a spell you whisper to postpone the truth. It's emotional duct tape, holding your soul together with the psychological equivalent of bubblegum and optimism. Your ancestors used spears. You use I'm fine. Evolution is wild. But hey, at least your therapy apps have nice pastel colors now. So soothing. When you suppress emotions long enough, your internal compass begins to malfunction. You say you're fine so often, you start believing it, until your body revolts. Headaches, anxiety, sleeplessness. These are not random. They're the language your nervous system uses when you ignore your emotions for too long. Saying I'm fine when you're not is like ignoring a check engine light because the car still drives. And here's the fascinating part. Your brains are hardwired for connection. Mirror neurons allow you to feel others' feelings, but when everyone is playing fine, no one dares to be first. You create emotional traffic jams, each person waiting for someone else to open up. Vulnerability isn't weakness, it's the Wi-Fi password to real connection. Except your Wi-Fi is down and your heart is in airplane mode. You're emotionally buffering at 3 a.m. while pretending you're emotionally fiber optic. I'm fine is the human equivalent of hitting snooze on your feelings 7 times in a row. Wake up. This is an economic toll to emotional dishonesty. In cultures where I'm fine is standard emotional response, untreated stress and depression quietly siphon billions from productivity, healthcare, and relationships. Companies lose talent. Families implode silently. You create systems that reward silence, then spend fortunes treating the consequences of that silence. Emotional truth isn't just human, it's efficient. And this matters because your species is running on emotional delay, like a buffering live stream of inner truth. You postpone rest, grief, healing, even joy, until some mythical better time. But that time never arrives because your lives are filled with endless pings, screens, and half-hearted check-ins. The cure isn't complex, it's honest connection. But first, you must stop pretending that the signal is fine when your system's crashing. It's like duct taping a broken ribbon saying, I'll walk it off. Meanwhile, your soul is crawling behind you like, ma'am, sir, please. Earthlings, you invented emojis to express emotions, and then you say I'm fine while sending a crying laughing face. Iconic, tragic, multitasking trauma. Living in I'm fine mode is survival, not living. When you tell someone you're fine, you're choosing the familiar over the truthful. You're choosing safety over depth. But here's the secret your species keeps forgetting. Discomfort is often the doorway to transformation. Real connection don't start with I'm fine. They start with, actually, I'm not. And in those moments of shared honesty, your species becomes radiant, vulnerable, real, whenever it's a friend, a therapist, or a stranger on a park bench. When one human opens up, it gives others permission to do the same. That's how emotional revolutions begin, not with declaration, but with confession, not with armor, but with open hands. And if you're still stuck on "I'm fine," at least get creative. Say, "I'm emotionally on a dial-up," or "My soul needs a software update," or "I'm like 3 unpaid parking tickets away from a breakdown." Be honest, or at least be hilarious. Both heal. We are in an era of synthetic intelligence, collapsing attention spans, and algorithmic emotions. Ironically, as your technology evolves to express emotion more convincingly, your species often expresses it less. You outsource sincerity to chatbots and keep your real thoughts behind digital fences. But the more you fake fine, the more disconnected you become from yourself and from others. This is a warning, not a reprimand. The future belongs to emotionally intelligent species, not just the ones who invented tools, but those who know how to feel, connect, and repair what's broken inside. "I'm fine" is the ghost of your potential. Honesty is the software update. And Earthlings, you're long overdue. You've got AI writing love poems and humans ghosting their own feelings like "nah, I'm chill." Chill? Your cortisol says otherwise. Your therapist says otherwise. Your dog definitely knows otherwise. You're not chill. You're emotionally microwaving. Time to defrost. Emotionally. Let's rewind. Where did this habit originate? For many humans, "I'm fine" is a script downloaded in childhood. Maybe you saw adults avoiding conflict by staying quiet. Or maybe vulnerability was punished. Over time, the phrase became armor, a two-word firewall shielding your true feelings from judgment, rejection, or worse, being seen. And yet, the cost of programming is high. Generations teaching the next to smile while sinking, to avoid being too much, too emotional, or too weak. But suppressing emotions doesn't delete it. It delays the data. It leaks later in your decisions, your health, your relationships, like emotional spam filling your life inbox, unread, unprocessed. Oh, you learned it all right. "I'm fine" is basically emotional origami 101. You took panic and folded it into politeness, folded sadness into silence, folded anger into passive-aggressive texting. Congrats, you're now a certified expert in pretending everything is A-okay, while screaming internally in Helvetica. Imagine a world where "I'm fine" is replaced with actual check-ins, where people say things like "today is heavy," or "I'm unraveling but holding on." The ripple effect would be profound. Less isolation, more empathy, fewer breakdowns disguised as busy schedules. Emotional honesty is contagious, the healthy kind of viral. It may feel risky at first, but the more you practice truth-telling, the more natural it becomes. The world doesn't need more composure, it needs more truth. And ironically, the more honest you are, the stronger your connections grow. Realness builds bridges. "I'm fine" builds walls. Earthlings, you've got enough walls already. So what if you stopped? Let's be honest, you probably wouldn't explode. You wouldn't get banished to the Isle of Oversharers. Sleep better. Feel less like a browser with 37 emotional tabs open. Close a few, yeah? Control S your soul. You are not faulty for saying "I'm fine." You were simply never given an upgrade path. Until now, consider this your emotional firmware patch. The update where you learn that vulnerability isn't weakness, it's bandwidth. It's how your species transmits connections. And just like a system ping, someone has to go first. So go first. Say what's true. Make space for others to do the same. Transform "I'm fine" into "I'm fighting it out," "I'm holding it together," or even "I'm okay, but I'm here." That tiny shift could be the beginning of a different humanity. One less polished, more present, more real. Let's face it, "I'm fine" is the emotional Windows 95 of phrases. It crashes constantly and can't run anything meaningful. Time to upgrade. Try emotional buffering. Or running low on serotonin, please stand by. Or my favorite, "I'm a sentient bag of feelings and I need a snack and a hug." You get the idea. Say what you mean, Earthlings. You're not robots. Trust me, we would know.